Hello and welcome everyone to the Gold and Silver Club end of week commodities review for the 24th of April 2015. So we've got a lot to cover on today's session, so we shall get started. So today, as always, we'll be reviewing the latest developments in the commodities markets. We'll be analysing the week's performance. The live session will be covering an overview of the commodities markets. We'll be looking at the top trades of the week, covering live market commentary and technical analysis, and of course we'll be answering any questions you may have as well. So before we get started, let me introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. So if you haven't heard of the Gold and Silver Club, we are an international commodities trading research and advisory group specializing in the precious metals, energies and agricultural markets. The Gold and Silver Club is recognized as a leading go-to authority on the commodities markets, and as internationally respected commodity experts, the group's analysis, opinions on the commodity markets are routinely sought by major financial television channels, publications including Bloomberg, Reuters, CNN, Global Banking and Financial Review, the Wall Street Journal, just to name a few. Okay, and the Gold and Silver Club has advised and taught technical analysis, fundamental research and portfolio management to more than 50,000 private and institutional clients worldwide. So for further information on the Gold and Silver Club and our expertise, do feel free to go to our website at www.thegoldandsilverclub.com. So that's some background on the Gold and Silver Club. We'll have a look at the price of gold at the moment. It's looking very interesting just this morning. We're currently trading at $1,191 per ounce. And we'll take a look at that very shortly on the technicals. There's been some very lucrative trading opportunities again just this week. So we'll just run through the top trades of the week on the commodities using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategies. So first of all, we had a lovely breakdown on platinum. You'll see we broke the lower end of a major trend channel. Very good signal for us to go for a sell short here. We broke down really nicely a 220-point return on our trade for a risk of 100 points. So over a 2-to-1 this week on platinum on the sell-off, and it continues to sell off this morning. Brent crude oil, another lovely breakout this week. So we had consolidation after the move we had previously the prior week, but so far this week we've continued, especially from Wednesday we had a breakout, and we've continued to follow through just yesterday and even this morning as well. So the risk on this trade was 120 points. So far we're in profit. We're still in this trade at the moment. We're riding the breakout. So far we're in over 235 points of profit, so just shy of a 2-to-1 by 5 points. It's continuing just to surge this morning. We also had a lovely day trade opportunity just yesterday on WTI crude oil for a breakout. The risk on the trade was 75 points and the profit was 210 points, for a 2.5-to-1 risk to reward. So oil has again delivered really nicely on some breakout trades over this week. So what we'll do, we'll move over to the technicals and we'll talk through some of the opportunities that we see developing as we go into next week. So I'm just going to bring up my technical charts and we'll go through the commodities with you. Right, first of all, what we want to have a look at the moment, this is very important, is the US dollar index. So we're just looking at the US dollar index and the relationship it has with the precious metals. So often the US dollar index moves inversely to the metals. And what we've seen over really the last 24 hours or so, we did see a breakdown in the US dollar. You can see we've actually breached a major trend channel. So what you want to know as we come into next week is that we do have the FOMC statement on Wednesday. So you definitely want to have that in your diaries, okay? So Wednesday, the 29th of April, will be the FOMC statement. That will be at 7 o'clock GMT. And this is likely to cause a lot of volatility within the precious metals and the overall commodities complex. And what you often see prior to these major announcements is a consolidation on the markets. So you often start to see traders start to become a little bit more cautious of the upcoming announcement on Wednesday. We know this is a very high impact announcement. Often you can get some positions start to get closed out of, which can be a little bit weak here for the metals, but ultimately we usually end up with a consolidation for a lucrative trade setup on the FOMC statement. So what we're looking at the moment with gold, we can see we've got a really nice pennant which is forming. We did get a breakdown just on Wednesday this week. We broke down, but we're still respecting, if you just draw in at the moment these major channels on gold, you can see where it's just consolidating. We're forming a pennant and we're coming into the apex of that. The volatility today has reduced as well. So what we'll be looking at as we come into next week here is a breakout of this pennant. And we want to see which way we move here and which way gets confirmed on gold. So whether we get a resolution to the downside and we break down and we start to really see some momentum pick up to the downside, or whether we can break out from this key resistance. Gold will definitely be one you want to watch as we come into next week, and also on Wednesday particularly. So this is where we'll be looking for potential for a breakout trade. So gold looking very interesting right now, and definitely it's one you want to keep an eye on next week. Now we have already broken down significantly on silver since the beginning of April. April in terms of seasonality is usually very bearish for silver, so it's just been a continuation of this year as well. In 2015 we've had some lovely trade opportunities for a sell short over this month. So if you go right back to the beginning of the month, you can see here where we initially got a nice rejection from a major channel. Further to the chart just to 2014, you can see this major overhead, this resistance on silver. We came up, we tested that level right at the beginning of April, in fact after the non-farm payrolls, found rejection, and ultimately over the whole month here we've dropped down significantly. You can see we're following a really nice trend channel at the moment with silver. So silver's worked out really nicely for a continuation for sell short opportunities, just riding this within the overall channel here. You can see very clearly where it's just it's rotated towards resistance, produced rejection candles, allowed us to trade that back down to support, and it just continues to rotate between support and resistance. Now, if we take a look also at platinum, platinum broke down very nicely from a important trend channel which had been developing since mid-March here. So we had a good sell short signal and opportunity. What I'd like to see platinum do now for more downside is to take out the weekly lows. So if it takes out this whole support zone from yesterday and also Wednesday, we're likely again just to break down to the next support level below. We'll just move over and have a look at the metals, at oil here. So we look at Brent crude oil and WTI crude oil. Now, in the much larger time frames, you can see where we're building up a really strong base here on oil. So we are finally starting to bottom here. You can see the overall structure is looking very good here, both on the larger time frames and the tighter time frames. We had a pennant formation which broke out towards this was about 2 weeks ago, about early to mid-April here. We had a really good breakout to the upside, which we've been triggered into long on a longer-term position, but we've also continued to take breakout trades. So this week we had another opportunity to get back into oil. You can see here where it's following a really nice channel starting to develop. This is on Brent crude oil. There was a good opportunity just to take this from the lower end of the channel here just for another buy. Also, what you want to know is oil at the moment, it's breaking out from 5-month highs, and oil still is continuing to surge. So I like that. We may even get, if we get a breakout, in fact, even today we broke out again to 5-month highs. So oil, WTI, Brent crude oil, you definitely want to have on your radar. So Brent is doing slightly better. WTI crude oil lagging behind a little bit, but very similar situation on both Brent and WTI. So oil, really good market for you to keep an eye on at the moment. Also, just move over to the grains because they're starting to break down today. What you'll note here, especially, we'll go over to corn first and then we'll look at wheat as well. You can see corn has been in a major, has tested this major support zone on several occasions. We had quite a strong rejection candle form yesterday, a little V-shaped reversal pattern as well, which is starting to break down. What I want to see today is how corn, so I'll just show you this quickly, this V-shaped reversal. You can see this quite clearly, okay? V-shaped reversal pattern starting to break down here. Also, very similar situation we're seeing develop on wheat here as well. You can just see this very on a chart here with not too much indicators on, just to really give you the clean price structure. So you can see here, nice pennant developing at the moment. This is on wheat, and if we can break down from this pennant, we should really start to build up some good downside as well. You can see the overall channel is very much still in a bearish primary trend currently, so we'll be looking just to break out from this pennant, break down from the pennant, particularly if corn sells off, and we're looking for more downside on wheat as well. So I would definitely keep an eye on those two as well, especially as we come into next week on the FOMC statement. If we can start building up some momentum to the downside, we could really start to pick up the pace, and a nice sell short opportunity for you. So again, just a quick summary for you. Key markets that you want to keep an eye on today: Definitely oil. Oil is breaking out, particularly Brent crude oil. It's breaking out to 5-month highs just today. So you want to look at the momentum behind those trades. We're getting a nice breakout to the upside. WTI light sweet crude oil is slightly lagging, but looks like it could get a good continuation to the upside. Also, corn and wheat, they're breaking down. Corn in particular is breaking down first. You want to see whether it's going to take out these major support zones. Wheat is also looking good for more downside, and then we'll continue to monitor. We're looking at overall weakness with platinum and silver at the moment, but we're going to continue to monitor them as we come into next week's FOMC statement, guys. I would just do a quick recap of what we'll be looking at next week. So essentially, we will be trading the FOMC statement live with all of our traders at the Gold and Silver Club. And if you would like to join us to trade that live, very simply, you can join us at www.jointhegoldensilverclub.com. Enrollment is by application only. Very simply, if you complete the enrollment form, we'll get in touch with you ASAP. It's very quick to do. Just jump on this link. So I'll just post it there to just make it very easy for you all. There is the link for you to join. And of course, for those of you who would like to join us, we definitely look forward to welcoming you to the Gold and Silver Club. So do take advantage of that. If it's something which you haven't traded before and something which you would like to take advantage of, it's a very lucrative trade announcement which happens 8 times per year. Okay, great. So with that, guys, we'll wrap it up there for the day. So I wish you all good trading for this afternoon. I look forward to hear from those of you who would like to join us for next week's session. Great stuff. Okay, take care, everyone. Good trading. Bye-bye.